So you guys just started the week on Dancing with the Stars, of course, and now you're here playing, playing at college. So what's the difference for you playing national TV and then you come down to a more intimate crowd like at college?
You know, for us, we get kind of nervous. Not really nervous, just kind of jitters whenever we play TV.
I get nervous.
It's
super high pressure.
But for us, playing on stage, doing a show, we say it's more fun than recess because it's what we've always done. Before we were doing interviews or writing songs, we were playing live on stage. So that is literally where we get on stage and can just enjoy, you know, the ride, if you will.
Well, and tonight is it's almost like a more intimate conversation, you know. It's a really cool crowd. We're all in a tight space. So, you know, we also are out on the road with Rascal Flatts and are playing arenas. So that's a very different style than what we'll bring to the show tonight. But we like to have giant sing-alongs. Ultimately, that's what we're hoping here for in Clarion tonight.
And people sometimes say, you know, what venue do you like to play best? And we like them all for different reasons. Like Kimberly said, the smaller venues, it's more of a conversation between us and the crowd. But the bigger ones, you can have like the full-blown production and our fog jets and that kind of stuff.
Is that what you're hoping for tonight, to get that crowd involvement into this sort of an intimate crowd?
Absolutely. I think there's some misconception sometimes that the folks come out to see us sing, when in reality, we travel hours and hours and hours to hear you guys sing. So hopefully we'll have a bit of that tonight.
What's that like to hear the crowd kind of come back and sing the songs that you guys have written, to sing those lyrics back to you? What's that like?
I think that's probably, to me, it's one of the greatest feeling on earth that I can imagine. I mean, we're a little biased because we do music, but you know, you never imagine when you're sitting on your front porch or in your bedroom strumming through a song that one day it'll translate to this moment that you get to create with humanity, you know, all enjoying this melody and this lyric together. So it's kind of a holy moment. It's really special.
And it's kind of how we gauge growth of the band, if you will. A lot of it is how many people come out to the show, but how many of those people are singing your songs and how loud they sing it or which songs they sing as well. So.
One of those songs I'm sure they'll be singing tonight, If I Die Young. And Kimberly, when you wrote this, did you expect it to be as big of a hit as it really is?
Well, I don't think that you ever really go into writing songs wondering how people are going to respond to it. I think it's your responsibility as a songwriter to dig deep inside of yourself and, you know, pin something as honest as you can. The one thing we did see immediately with If I Die Young, though, is that it connected with so many different people. Like our 80-year-old grandmother loved it, and our 8-year-old friends and cousins at home liked it as well. So the one thing that we did see early on was that it connected, and that ended up translating on the radio and, you know, worldwide.
Of course, you're on the road promoting, as you mentioned, with Rascal Flatts, and of course tonight you're on the road promoting Pioneer, your second album. First off, the success has been pretty good so far. Of course, 2 big singles, and the one, of course, Rising Now. You switched producers, working with Dan Huff on this album. Has he helped to bring out the true Band Perry sound?
Whenever we first started talking to Dan Huff, he actually came out and saw a live show. And for us, that is the truest snapshot.
He was the first producer to do that, actually.
Yeah, and what he noticed was that we have a lot of aggressive drum beats, a lot of big electric guitars, and Kimberly makes a lot more extra sounds when she sings, and so
hence
so he kind of combined all that, and he did give us this more grandiose sound for Pioneer.
Well, and like Reid said, it's more true to what we do live. I mean, some of our songwriting sometimes borders on folk writing, sometimes it borders on rock and roll, but I think Dan kind of streamlined everything that the Band Perry is to make it, you know, a really commercial sounding record.
Well, we always want to write as honestly as we can and also want to record the songs as honestly as we can too. Those both work together.
We talked about, you bring up writing. You wrote 9 of 11 songs on the first album, 9 of 12 on this one. How do you go about deciding what songs you want on an album, the ones that you've written versus the ones that are pitched to you?
Well, we arm wrestle. You know, if we disagree, it's all paper, rock, scissors or something. You know, they really just kind of rise to the top. Whether we're listening to songs that friends of ours have written in Nashville or whether they're ones that we write, we always say the song wins. One place that we try them out is actually during sound checks before a live show. We get the band and see how it's going to feel live because, like we said, I mean, that's the element that we knew first and foremost was live performance. So if it's working on stage, sometimes we'll try it out in front of a crowd. It's usually the right song.
Absolutely. Well, the 3 of us have a particular style of songwriting that we are attracted to. And if it's a song that some friends of ours have written and it feels like something we would have written, then we'll absolutely cut it.
Backwards written lyrics, interesting melody, vulnerability, all those
That's sort of what we've seen, I think, between If I Die Young and Better Dig 2. There is almost a similarity in that aspect.
Sure.
Was that intentional to come out with that first single on this album to make it sort of tie together, or was that just something that happened?
I think Better Dig 2 just felt like the boldest first step to define the pioneer era. You know, we were kind of at an interesting place releasing the second album. You know, as opposed to the first one, we had nothing to lose. Nobody knew who the band Perry was. And then, you know, releasing Pioneer, we kind of had everything to lose. But we really had to, you know, search inside and have some honest conversation about what brought us to the dance in the first place. And it was taking really bold steps, like releasing If I Die Young, and then like releasing Better Dig 2. So in one sense, it was conscious in that sense, and unconscious in the sense that we just really love that style of music. We grew up in deep southern Alabama, and you can take the deep south, take us out of it, but you can't take it out of us. And I think Better Dig 2, it has a lot of that in it.
Very good song, of course, very successful on the charts as well. When we take a look at If I Die Young, you know, really, what has that song done for you three? When, like you said, when coming onto the scene, it was one of those songs, it was your second single, of course, and very successful. I mean, what has that done for you three, both professionally and perhaps personally?
You know, professionally, it's given the band in our first album the legs to go, you know, across oceans to different countries and to meet tons of different people, but also the opportunity to release a second album as well. And it really was our giant hello to the world, if you will.
Well, and personally, it's given us something to say. You know, we appreciate the spotlight because it's a fun place to be, like we talked about with sing-alongs, but it also allows you to put a little bit of that light in dark places. And, you know, some have described If I Die Young as voicing the grief of those who have lost somebody and maybe can't figure out how to find that voice. For others, we've even heard stories that song came into their lives when they were contemplating really dark thoughts and things like suicide. So, you know, for us, it was a song we wrote about life. It was about contentment. It was about making the most of every moment. But it has been such an honor to be a part of those moments in people's lives, and that this song has held their hand through that.
Now, one of the songs that you guys have written on Pioneer, Mother Like Mine, of course. It's good to see that the three of you have written that, and of course, for your mother. What has the response been for her and with fans?
A lot of tears.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
Very
grown men
emotional
cry.
song.
Yeah. We even see guys cry over that song.
Really?
But, you know, it is a special song for the three of us. She comes out with us on the road pretty much every single show, and she's been there with us every show for 14 years.
Well, and she basically is everything from band stylist to coach. I mean, she knows when we're at the top of our game and when we can improve. And this song is basically what the world would look like if Reid Perry raised it the way that she raised the three of us.
When you talk about the three of you, 14 years really playing together, really the majority of your lives playing together, what happens on the bus? Are you guys a family on the bus, or is that when things kind of start to, you know, the arguments happen? I mean, what's it like as siblings going on the road together?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the discussions, if you will, because it's a grown-up
We call them
word.
discussions.
Yeah,
Yeah, so mature.
Normally, they're normally over either what TV show we're going to watch or who gets the last bowl of cereal.
Which is always Reid.
But I'll say the most fireworks you'll see are probably over a lot of creative decisions and business decisions as well, just because it is what we've done for so many years, so we all have very big opinions when it comes to that.
Well, but iron sharpens iron, and that means that we make each other sharper, but there are sparks that happen when iron sharpens iron. So, you know, at the end of the day, we walk out of the bus like the Avengers. You know, we have each other's backs, and we're truly like an army more than even a band sometimes. But, you know, you have to go through that. I think we always remember that we're after the same thing, which is excellence, and we push each other. We're very goal-oriented. We're very competitive, but mostly we're competitive with the band Perry and trying to be better and better.
Iron sharpened discussions on the bus.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here for CUTV today. It's great to talk to you. And a great performance on the ACMs. It blew me away. I was so happy.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to see you guys come here after a great performance.
We'll bring some of that to the stage tonight.
Awesome.
Thank you.